What's going on, swim fans? Welcome to World Swim News. Today is day number 2 of the U.S. Olympic swimming trials. We just completed the final session. Incredible performances. We saw multiple American records. We were so close to seeing a world record. Oh boy, I hope we see one tomorrow. But we have a lot to cover. There were a number of different events. We're going to go through this race by race. I'm going to go show you guys some footage. We're going to give it some analysis and walk through every single race and everything that you need to know about what happened in Omaha, Nebraska. We have the women's 100-meter butterfly final, the men's 200 freestyle semifinal, the women's 100 breaststroke semifinal, the men's 100 breaststroke final, the women's 400-meter freestyle final, the men's 100 backstroke semifinal, and finishing off with the women's 100 backstroke semifinal. So a lot of fast swimming in Omaha, Nebraska. Just a quick recap, if you guys are new here, we are watching the U.S. Olympic swimming trials in Omaha, Nebraska. Top 2 finishers in each individual event go on to represent the United States of America in Tokyo, Japan at the Olympic Games. So this is the qualifying meet. We also have the Australian Olympic trials happening at the same time as this competition, and so that will line up very well for a few of these events because we have challengers throwing down some ridiculous times down under in Australia. So we want to keep an eye on those results as well as what's going on here. Let's go ahead and pull up the first event of the day. It was the women's 100-meter butterfly. I was really impressed by this race. A lot of fast swimming. Let's go ahead and find the footage of the first event. That was the women's 100 about to enter the water, women's 100 butterfly. And keep an eye on some of these swimmers. A lot of young talent in the water. We have the experience of Kelsey Dahlia. We also have the fresh blood of Tori Husky along with Claire Curzan. Keep an eye on them. And as we see, really, Tori just going out like a champ right now at the first 50. She's leaving nothing in the pool, out in a 25.65. That is absolutely flying. This was the first event of the night to kick things off. Remember, in the hundreds, we have the prelims in the morning, semifinal in the afternoon, and we saw this yesterday, and then the next day is the final session in the evening. A lot of fast times into the wall. Look at this tempo. Are we going to see a world record? World record in the 100-meter butterfly is a 55.48 by Sarah Sjöström of Sweden. Just off of that, 55.66. That is a new American record and U.S. Open record by Tori Husk. That is absolutely flying. She came back in a 30.01. That is flying. For a moment there, I did think we were going to see a world record. I was really pulling for her. She had so much opening speed. I mean, she was out almost 0.4 faster than the world record split at the 50 mark. At the 50 mark, the world record split is a 26.01, and she was out in a 25.65. And then not only was did she have the opening speed, but she came through at the end and held it together very well with a very strong finish. And we just have to hope that she can hang on in Tokyo. It's going to be quite a wild race. Look at that finish. Perfect finish. Touching second was also the youngster Claire Curzan. She was 56.43. But still, this was all about Tori Husk flying into the wall at a 55.66. Absolutely incredible. Very impressive at this point in the season. Let me go ahead and remove myself so you can take a look at that. 55.66, Claire Curzan. The defending Olympian, Kelsey Dahlia, 56.80. She does not make the Olympic team in this event. She will be swimming the 200-meter butterfly later on in the competition, so maybe she's got a shot at the 200-meter butterfly. But yeah, look at the young blood kicking things off in the evening number 2 of the U.S. Olympic swimming trials. Next event was the men's 200 freestyle semifinal. There were 2 of these semifinals, hence semifinal. Let's go ahead and play the first. And this is heat number 1, semifinal number 1 of the men's 200 freestyle. Now, Caleb Dressel was one of the top qualifiers in this event, but he actually elected to sit this one out. He scratched The idea here is most likely that he thinks he has a strong enough time of 1:46 to give him a relay position in the preliminaries. So he's not trying to make the team individually in this event. He'll leave it to everyone else to take it away. And in this first semifinal, we have a number of superstars in the field. But it's really important in the 200 freestyle, because we have the selection for the 4x200 freestyle relay. You want to be into that final, because once you make it into the final, at least 4 swimmers will make the Olympic team automatically. Most of the time, the top 6 swimmers in this event will make the Olympic team because you have that relay. So if you think about it from that perspective, if you can get in to the top 8, right, you only have to beat a few swimmers in the semifinal. If you make it into the top 8, all you got to do is beat 2 people. You beat 2 people, there's a very high likelihood you get selected to make the Olympic team and represent your country. So arguably, there's a lot more pressure just to make the final from the semifinal than actually any other position in any other event. This in the 100-meter freestyle. Just because you have to beat only 2 people, and most likely you're going to make the team in the final. But you're not going to get a chance to make that final unless you can qualify here in the semifinal. So into the 150 in the first semifinal, touching first is Seliskar. He was at 119.52. Seliskar looking pretty solid, and these top swimmers, as long as they can hold on, they will advance to the final. It is very, very competitive all the way through. And here into the finish, look at how close everyone is into the finish. There we go. Into the finish. It could be anyone's race. Who's it going to be? Coming into the wall, it's Kibler. Look at that. Who would have called that? Seliskar is third at the 150 mark. He was actually in the lead. But look at that. Just goes to show in a 50-meter long course pool, literally anything can happen. Pretty impressive swim for these guys. And, you know, they're really fighting at the end because they know they need to get into that final. And you don't know how fast the second heat, the second semifinal is going to go. Here's the replay coming into the wall. Great underwater shot. And you can see them come into the wall. Great underwater streamline, underwater undulation. Look at Seliskar with that beautiful 6-speed kick in the blue suit. And into the finish, it is really anyone's game. Wow, look how close that is into the finish. That's absolutely remarkable. Here it is in slow motion. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look how close it is. Wow. And that just, 0.3 seconds separated the top 3 contenders. There it is again in slow motion. And really, these guys don't know how fast the other swimmers are going to go because they're in the first semifinal. Let's go ahead and look at the second semifinal of this event. This is the men's 200-meter freestyle second semifinal. Remember, Caleb Dressel was a 146 in the morning, but the guy to watch in this heat is Kieran Smith in lane 4. If you remember last night in the 400-meter freestyle, he actually obliterated the field. He was way faster than everyone. He made his first Olympic team qualifying first yesterday in the 400 free. Here he is in the second of 2 semifinals. Great underwater start. He looked very, very smooth here to kick things off. If you remember those times in the first semifinal, it was about 146, 147. If any of these guys go a 146, they're most likely going to make the final, which will be contested tomorrow. And remember, if you make the top 4, you're automatically on the 4x200 freestyle relay. Top 2 get to swim the event individually. But most of the time, top 6 actually qualify for the Olympic team because they take 2 people to swim in the relay in the morning. A question was asked in our live stream in the comments, how come in the individual events only the first swimmer is showing the Olympic rings? I thought the top 2 automatically make it. Most of the time, that is the case. However, there is a limit on the number of individuals you can have on a team actually qualify for your country in the Olympics per sport. It's 26 men and 26 women. So if you have a situation where every single swimmer only qualifies in one event, then you'll hit the 26-person cap. We haven't had that issue in the past, especially when you have superstars like Michael Phelps take over a number of different seeds, a number of different spots, and therefore everyone basically gets to go who's top 2 and then top 6 on the relays. The thing that makes it more complicated now is we don't have a Michael Phelps, but also we've added 2 events. There's a mixed relay, and there's also the 800 freestyle on the men's side and 1500 woman on the women's side. And here's Kieran Smith looking really smooth into the finish. What's he going to go? A 145.74. Tonley Haas is third. I think he won the trials in 2016. Those top 3 guys should make it into the semifinal. Into the final from this semifinal. It's really, really competitive in this 200 free. It's a painful event, guys. I mean, think about it. You got to swim the 200 freestyle 3 times if you're going to make the team. Here it is in slow motion. There he is, Kieran Smith. He was the stud in the 400 free last night, demolishing the field. The only person guaranteed to make the Olympic team. And that's why if you watch in the broadcast, only the winner is signing their name on the drum to make the Olympic team. This is the U.S. Olympic trials. There it is at the turn. Look at that underwater now. See in the blue cap how much further he goes underwater? That is huge. That's why the walls are so important. Streamline off the wall. Very, very important. And then coming into the wall, he touches in a 145.74. His final 50 split, 26.98. So he came home like a freight train. Touching second in the rank was Zach Apple. He was a 146.22. He closed in a 27.62. Let me remove my image. As you can see in the results, this is what we're looking at in the semifinal of the results. And who will advance to the final, led by Kieran Smith at a 145.74. It took a 147.00 to actually make it into this final, which will be contested tomorrow night. And then after the semifinal of the men's 200-meter freestyle, we had the semifinal of the women's 100 breaststroke, and we're going to get right to the magic. Semifinal number 2 with Lily King. She was the top qualifier. Let's go ahead and play the 100-meter breaststroke from Lily King. It was pretty special here. I won't put the spoiler alert. No spoiling it for you guys. Let's go ahead and watch Lily King. Here we go. 100 breaststroke, Lily King. She is the top qualifier after the prelims. One of the only swimmers to go that 105 low. There was another swimmer at the 105 mark, but she holds the world record at a 104.13 that she broke in the Budapest World Championships in Budapest, Hungary in 2017. She went 104.13. She was out in a 29.80. None of the swimmers were out in 30 point except for Lily King in the morning. She's right there next to Annie Laser. Shout out to the Michigan crowd, local native here where I'm from. Annie Laser is right there next to her. Had an incredible swim in the prelims. Let's see what she can put together here in the semifinal. Just like we saw in the 200 freestyle, you got to go prelim, semifinal, and then the final. The difference is in the 100 breaststroke, only the top 2 will advance to the Olympic team. It's not like the 800 free relay or the 200 free where you can qualify in the 800 free relay. And there's Lily King right there. Immediately well ahead of the competition. We're at, 25 meters in, and she is a half body length ahead. That is spectacular. And from a best time perspective, she is way faster than everyone. So it's not like we should be surprised. I think tomorrow night in the final, we'll probably see something similar. How fast will she go on the first 50? It's a 30.19, just under half a second off of her best time, which is the world record split at 29.8. But here she is now, a full body length lead on the competition. This is pretty spectacular. There she goes. And then into the finish, she was able to go a 104.72. Looks like my video is freezing. That's not good. Video is freezing, but I'll give you guys the recap. 104.72 for Lily King into the finish. And that was pretty spectacular. Second was Annie Laser at a 105.37. And it took a 107.28 to make it into the top 8. But realistically, this is going to be a 3 or 4 person swim. 4 swimmers under 106, and they will be battling tomorrow in the final of the 100 breaststroke. After the 100 breaststroke was the men's 100 breaststroke, where we got to see the showdown with Michael Andrew, Andrew Wilson, Nicholas Fink, Kevin Cordes, Will Lacone, Max McHugh. Let's go ahead and pull up the men's 100 breaststroke from the final. So we already saw the prelim and the semifinal yesterday. Michael Andrew was able to break the American record 2 times in 9 hours. How about that? Let's go ahead and pull up the footage. This is Michael Andrew in the 100 breaststroke. He is a crowd favorite in a lot of this. Fellow YouTuber and Cody Miller, who unfortunately did not make this final. He swam in the semifinal. I believe he was 11th. But this came down to Michael Andrew, Andrew Wilson, Nick Fink, Kevin Cordes, Josh Willacone, Max McHugh, Ben Kono. These are the guys we want to keep an eye on. There's Willacone, 26-year-old out of lane 1. But this really came down to Michael Andrew, Andrew Wilson, Nick Fink, and Kevin Cordes. All these guys have been well under a minute. Michael Andrew trying to defend what he did yesterday in the prelims and the semifinal. Now, Andrew Wilson and Nick Fink were spectacular on the second 50. They're going to be able to close on him. They will be able to close on him in the final 15, 20 meters of this race. Michael Andrew already off to a strong lead, better pullout than everyone. It'd be interesting to see Michael Andrew against Adam Peaty right now, because Adam Peaty not the best at starting. Michael Andrew seems to have a clear advantage on the pullout off the dive, but he's looking pretty good right now. He's looking in full control, a little aggressive, very aggressive onto that final stroke. He touches in 26.90. That's just a touch slower than he was last night when he went to 58.1. He was 26.8. But the question is, can he hang on? Here comes Nick Fink and Andrew Wilson. They're starting to reel him in. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Does he have enough left in the tank to hang on? Here, these guys are closing. It's going to be anyone's finish. Who's going to nail it at the touch into the wall? Oh my goodness. It is Michael Andrew at a 58.73. Andrew Wilson just sneaking in there. And look at the excitement. That's his mother. Everyone's super excited to be there. And how about that? Fellow Olympian now, Andrew Wilson. Andrew Wilson was a 58.74. And how about Nick Fink? 58.80. 0.07 seconds separated the top 3 swimmers. Michael Andrew comes out on top. But how about that finish? That was so close. Oh my goodness. Mom is happy. Mom is very happy. It's always good when your son makes the Olympic team. If I were a mother and my son made the Olympic team, I'd be very happy. And there's the start, diving in. Woo, baby. I feel like he rushed his pullouts just a little bit. I think his 58.1 from the prelim yesterday, he was way more relaxed on the entire stroke. And I think if he can hold that together, clean up a few of these things like the pullout aggression, he was very short into this wall. He really tried to force that stroke. He had a clear advantage, and he maintained it all the way through the turn. Yeah, he definitely rushed his pullout. I think his distance per pullout can be definitely improved. But look at the finish. Oh my God, look, he looked at them. He looked at them to the side. Oh my God, look how close that is into the finish. Look at all those Georgia Bulldogs swim caps. There's the finish. That's what .07 looks like at the touch between those 3 guys. Literally, it could have been any of them. They were all right there. That is incredible. That is what this is all about. It's remarkable to see how close the race came at the finish. There's the aggression. There's the start. I mean, let's just recap the splits of this race because it was the closest race of the night. Michael Andrew was a 58.73. Andrew Wilson, 58.74. And then Nick Fink, 58.80. .06 separated second and third. And then .01 separated first and second. Wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. That is so close. Like, you can't get any closer than that. This is, I mean, 100th of a second. Now, it didn't matter. If they were to tie for first, I don't think we would have a swim off. I think they'd both be in. But then it would just have a bigger separation between the next swimmers. So, wow. That is very special. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next event. It was the women's 400-meter freestyle with Ledecky. We know Ledecky. She's a stud. There she is. Women's 400 freestyle with Katie Ledecky. She is the defending world record holder in this event. Her world record is a 356.46. She did that in 2016 at the Rio Olympic Games. The question is, how fast can she go after a somewhat sluggish swim in the morning? So in the morning, preliminaries, remember the 400 freestyle, you only swim twice. It's a prelim and a final. She was 4:03 in the final. That's not very fast. I mean, she's been 3:56. A swimmer out of Australia at their Olympic trials went 3:56. So knowing that a top swimmer in the world has already gone basically your best time, I would say puts a little bit of pressure, even though she's a distance queen. You know, she's the greatest distance swimmer of all time. Some people argue she is the greatest swimmer on the female side of all time. Most would argue that Michael Phelps is the greatest swimmer overall of all time. But Katie Ledecky, people say she's not just the best distance swimmer of all time, she's the best female swimmer of all time. This year she'll have the opportunity to swim also the 1500, which was finally been added to the Olympic program. And there she is at the first 100, 57.2 going out. She's right on world record pace. If you remember, in the prelim, she was out in a 58.2. So she's out almost a full second faster. The 400 is basically 4/100. So let's say she went 1 second faster per 100. She would go from a 4:03, I think she was, down to a 3:59. That's still not going to be enough. She needs to go 3:56. Granted, this isn't the big show for her. She needs to do just enough to qualify for the Olympic team. She still hasn't made the Olympic team yet. A lot of people forget, you know, even when Michael Phelps was swimming, he still has to qualify for the team. And we have Ryan Lochte at this meet and some other veterans. Just because of these guys and girls' prior history doesn't mean they automatically qualify for the Olympics. They have to qualify just like everyone else. And here we see Katie Ledecky putting out a big advantage over the field. She has already established herself as several body lengths leads. So 157.64 on the way out. Her world record split is a 157.11. Now here's the thing. When she broke that world record, she was absolutely flying all the way through. She didn't fall apart at all. She went out fast. She went fast in the middle. She went fast at the end. It looks like she's starting to pull away from the field. She has about a 2 body length lead. She's about 0.7 over the world record right now, but she is holding pretty strong. And it's pretty special to see a swimmer at the Olympic trials to be so dominant in this event, because at the end of the day, this race, you only have to get top 1 or 2. You don't have to break the world record here. I mean, it still counts. You can break the world record, obviously. But at the end of the day, would you rather break the world record here at the Olympic trials, or would you rather win a gold medal at the Olympics? And so that is the decision that these top athletes have to make with their coaches. How much rest and preparation do they want to deliver for this competition, as compared to focusing on the Olympic Games itself? And most of the top athletes, like the Katie Ledeckys, who we see here now pulling away to a 3 body length lead over the competition, the question becomes here, who will be second place to join her in Tokyo? Is it going to be Paige Madden or Leah Smith? It looks like these are our top 2. Paige Madden in the lane below her, trying to hold off Leah Smith. Does Leah Smith have enough left in the tank? But right now the cameraman has zoomed out so much just to fit Katie Ledecky and Paige Madden in the frame together. There I am in the top corner trying to hold my stuff together. But look at her go, and she is extending from 3 to 4 body lengths. We'll take a look at the clock. She's not going to be under 4 minutes. Can she go 4 minute? No, she goes 4:01.27. Not the fastest time, but definitely enough to qualify for her Olympic Games. Again, if you remember, Katie Ledecky won her first Olympic gold medal when she was 15 years old in 2012 in London. There's the happiness of Paige Madden making her first Olympic team, smiling with Katie Ledecky. Katie Ledecky is like, okay, where's the warm down pool? I got to get ready for my next race. Got to cool down. She's super excited. Kayla Decky is relieved, if anything, and there's a slow motion of her stroke. Let's take a look at that technique. High elbow catch right there. Let's look at the hand entry. There it is, entering the water with the catch, middle finger first. Very, very good. Very, very good. So we see Kayla Ledecky qualify for her 3rd Olympic Games in an event that she is the world record holder in. After this women's 400-meter freestyle, we had the men's semifinal of the 100 backstroke. Let's go ahead and pull up the men's 100 backstroke. This is one of my favorite events, not to swim, but to watch. I like watching the 100 backstroke. It's an event that you don't really know what's going to happen when you're swimming it, simply because you're on your back and you can't see anything. So I definitely like watching that. Let's go ahead and watch semifinal number 1 of the 100 backstroke. Here it is. We got these top guys into the water. 100 backstroke. The world record is held by Ryan Murphy, who is right there. 51.85 is his world record. He was out in a 25.13. Fantastic underwaters. And Ryan Murphy immediately ahead of the field, asserting his dominance. Cal Bear graduate, multi-time NCAA champion, Olympic world record holder as well. And he looks very comfortable. If you remember in the prelims, he was very slow on the way out, but he looks like he is in complete control, out in a 25.49. In the morning, he was out in a 26-something. He was getting obliterated on the first 50, but he came back very strong. So a lot of these top athletes will change how they prioritize their energy and energy management. It looks like Ryan Murphy was going very slow in the morning so that he could show up the rest of the field. There he is. He's going to destroy this field. Just off his world record line at a 52.22. Right there, keep an eye on Resson Grievers. Grievers, the veteran at age 36, trying to make his 4th or 5th Olympic team. I believe it's the 4th, actually. But that's quite an impressive swim for Ryan Murphy. You can see the confidence on his face. He's very happy with that. 52.2, very, very good. He was out in a 25.49, back in a 26.73. Both of those splits faster than anyone in the field. Second fastest coming home was Hunter Armstrong in the following heat. He was a 27.02. Both of these guys will go into the final as your number 1 and 2 respectively. Ryan Murphy at 52.22. There he is on the finish. Hunter Armstrong in the following heat, he was a 52.67. To get into the final, Michael Andrew just squeezes in there with a 53.82. But let's get real, guys. It's not going to be a 53 to make the Olympic team. It's going to take a 52 low or a 51. I don't think it'll take a 51 to be in that second position. Most likely a 52 low will get you in. A lot of these guys who are 53, we're going to be pulling for them, but it's unlikely to see them make it into that Olympic spot. And remember, in the backstroke, just like breaststroke, top 2 swimmers have the opportunity to not only swim the individual event, but also for the relay. Remember, we have a 4x100 medley relay, back, breast, fly free. And Ryan Murphy broke the world record, actually, in the 100 backstroke at the Olympics in Rio, leading off the 4x100 medley relay. So let's go ahead and move to the final event, which was the semifinal of the women's 100 backstroke. We're going to skip to semifinal number 2 because we have the former world record holder, and that is Reagan Smith in this heat. She is absolutely the stud to keep an eye on because she is fast. How fast? 57 in the 100 backstroke. Fast. And the world record was actually just broken on June 13th down under in Australia. Kaylee McGowan, she was a 57.45. She took the world record away from Reagan Smith, and the world record split is a 28.10. You know, it's pretty fun to have the U.S. Olympic trials and the Australian Olympic trials happening at the same time. This is a very special race. You want to make sure you're watching it all the way until the end. Here we go. Keep an eye on the white and pink caps. Right off the start, amazing underwaters. A lot of these top swimmers will push 15 meters underwater. As you can see in the top corner, those are the reaction times. 0.55 is pretty average on the fast side for a backstroke start. And right away, Reagan Smith looking really good. Reagan Smith in the middle of the pool. Watch that pink cap. She's already almost a half body length lead ahead of the field. What does she turn in? 28.24. She's about 0.1 off the world record split. Very good underwater. Look at that, pushing about 13.5 meters underneath the water. Remember, the underwater dolphin kick is like the 5th stroke. It is faster than any stroke on top of the water. And in freestyle, backstroke, and butterfly, you can push to 15 meters underwater. Let's go ahead and watch what she does into the finish. Under the flags, how fast will she go? 57.4 is the world record. She goes 57.92. Very, very fast. In second in this heat, Ryan White in 58.99. Good to see a few swimmers. It looks like she's about to start crying. I mean, it was a beautiful swim. It wasn't the best time. It wasn't a world record, but maybe a sigh of relief to have gone 57. Here it is in slow motion. Beautiful stroke. A lot of white water, but look at that head position, how still she is. You can see that her head position is so controlled, so relaxed. There's the hand entry, entering the water with the pinky first. Thumb exits the water. Good head position. Nice pink cap, makes it easier to spot, right? But very, very clean stroke. She was in full control. And again, underneath the water, keep an eye on that stroke technique. Very, very clean. I mean, all of these swimmers have a lot of the fundamentals down, a good head position, all that. And here we go into the finish. And she goes 57.92. Immediate happiness, emotion. Remember, this is just the semifinal. There's a lot more to go in this event. And that wraps up day number 2 of the final session. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you guys can see race-by-race coverage like this. Tomorrow and the day after, I'll be at the venue giving you guys a behind-the-scenes at the U.S. Olympic Trials in Omaha, Nebraska. So make sure you follow MySwimPro on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or TikTok. Also, feel free to follow me on social media for a behind the scenes of what's going on at MySwimPro and also at the Olympic Trials in Omaha, Nebraska. Let us know down below in the comments what questions you have. I've been answering a few different questions about how the Olympic Trials is formatted, how you qualify to make the Olympic team, and all that good stuff. Let us know what you guys have questions down below. And finally, if you're not in the MySwimPro Facebook group, we have a global community of people in there. Go to Facebook. It's linked down below in the description. It's called MySwimPro Global Community. VIP group, absolutely free. And also make sure you download the MySwimPro app. We've got workouts, training plans, instructional video content. We sync with the Apple Watch, Garmin smartwatches, iOS and Android. Absolutely free app to download. And we actually have a special promo for you guys here at the Olympic Trials week. We have a 30% off promo code available for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed and check out. I'll put the promo code right there. There it is. Ta-da! It's right there. 30% off the MySwimPro app with the promo code. Oh, there it is. Where is it? There. Trials 2021. That expires on June 20th. So if you want training videos, if you want training plans, workouts, full analytics, all of that good stuff packaged in the MySwimPro app. Can't wait to talk to you guys at the next live stream. Again, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and I'll talk to you guys at the next video. Wish you the very best. Have a good night.